welcome to channel. So this is another video on Google Big Query. So in this video we will see what are the different options available to recover the data and also for backing up the data, right? How you can access historical data, how we can create table snapshots using different options, right? So first of all, so BigQuery supports accessing historical data using time travel. We call it a time travel, right? So using this option, you can always refer or access previous versions of the updated and deleted data, right? For example, there is a table, it has been going through multiple updates and inserts, right? So at any given point of time, you would like to refer previous version of that particular table, right? So how will you do that? Using this option, right? You can refer to the historical data, right? So for that, you need to have a required permissions. So this is the one permission you need to have, or else the user, if is granted with this permission, also serve that purpose. Okay, and also always remember, so this time travel is coming with some valid window duration, right? By default, time travel window is valid for 7 days. That means you can access historical data up to 7 days only. If you are trying to access the historical data beyond 7 days, that particular query will be failed. It will throw an error, that saying invalid, right? Always this is the default duration, and also this time travel window can be reconfigured. So maximum duration is 7 days. If you have to reconfigure it to less than 7 days, like 6 or 4 or 5 days, you can always do that, right? So in order to access your previous data belong to any historical timestamp, you can always use this class system time as of. So we will see this particular class in detail in the demo, right? Okay, this is one case, right? The other case, for example, let's say if a particular table has been by mistake deleted from the data set, is there any way to restore the table? Yes, there is a way. For that, you will have to use this particular process. We call it as a table decorator. Okay, there are two ways you can do that. Right, you will have to use bqcopy command for that. So that means you will have to go back to your previous version of that table by using relative time offset in millisecond. That means you will have to mention your previous timestamp in milliseconds like this. So this value representing 1 hour previous data or previous timestamp. We have to recover 1 hour back data. You will have to use bqcp and you will have to mention the dataset and table, right? And this is offset, and you will be copying this 1 hour back data to this new table called restore. This is one way. The other way, right, is you can also use unique epoch timestamp format. That means, for example, if you have to restore 2 hours back data, first of all, you will have to convert that 2 hour back timestamp to Unix epoch using converter, and then you will have to convert that seconds into milliseconds by multiplying it with 1000, and then you can represent that value like this, and you can use bq command and copy that data to this new table. These are the two different ways you can restore the deleted data, right? But always remember, this is you can restore a table if that time travel window within that 7 days only. You can't go beyond 7 days, right? This is the one important limitations we have, right? But what if we have to restore that data which is not falling in time travel window, that means beyond 7 days, right? Is there any way, right? Yes, there is a way. For that, you will have to use table snapshots. Okay, what do you mean by snapshot? That means, so by taking snapshots, you will be preserving the contents of a table at a particular time instance. You can take the snapshot of a table at any given point of time, right? So we'll see that in detail in the upcoming demo, right, as part of this video, right? So, and also this is there is one more option. You can always take the snapshot of a table based on your current timestamp, and also if you have to take the snapshot of a table which belongs to previous timestamp, that is historical data, you can always go back to the up to 7 day and you can create the snapshot of the table using the same syntax of a time travel. Okay, and also it's always recommended or best practice to use expiration time while creating the snapshot. That means whenever you're creating the snapshot of the table, so you can't retain it for forever, right? So it's a snapshot. In some day you will have to delete it from the dataset. So instead of going for manual delete, always you can go for this option to configure the expiration time tab. That means the duration of the snapshot reaches this particular expiration timestamp, it will be automatically deleted from the dataset, right? And also there is one important condition, right? So the snapshot you are creating for a table should be in the same region of the original table, that is base table, and also should be in the same organization of the original table, right? So these are the few important concepts to remember. And also what are the benefits, right? As I already told, with the time travel you can always go back and refer previous 7 days data. If you have to retain the data more than 7 days, you will have to use table snapshot. That means you will be creating snapshot every day or your specified timestamp, right? That means you will keep on taking the snapshot of a particular table so that you can retain or back up the data, right, more than 7 days, right? And also minimizing the storage cost. Internally, what BigQuery does, right? So whenever you take the table snapshot, it will actually not store the entire table. In fact, it stores the difference between the base table and the change in the data, actual change in the bytes, right? It will store that data only. But whenever you try to query that snapshot, it will return the entire data which belongs to the base table, but internally it organized such a way that it will only store the different bytes, the difference in the data. Okay, and there are few limitations like table snapshots are read only. You can't update the table snapshot. If you have to update the data again, you will have to restore the original table from the snapshot and then you can update the data. And the snapshots are not supported for views and external table and materialized views, right? Obviously, because in order to take snapshot, that table, the data has to be stored in the BigQuery. In case of views and external tables, right, so data is not stored. Usually you'll be, it's a query, you'll be referring to the underlying table. In case of materialized views also, it's a view, but you will be taking the snapshot of a table, right? So this is even not applicable in case of materialized views. Okay, I hope you got this concept, you understood it clearly, right? So we can take the snapshot of the table using different options available, like we can use SQL, we can use BQ, we can use API as well. But in this demo I'll be demoing like by using SQL and BQ how we can create snapshots, right? And also remember, whenever you are trying to create snapshot, because you'll be creating multiple snapshot, right, you'll have to do it on periodic basis in order to back up the data for more than 7 days. In such cases, you will have to create those snapshot table with unique name. So the best practice is, whenever you're trying to create a snapshot, the table name, you can simply append the timestamp at the end of the each table name. So it would look like this, right? So for example, today if you are taking June 1st, July 1st, this is every month snapshot. So June 1st, July 1st, August 1st. It will append the date, that year and month. If it is a timestamp, we will also append hour, minute and seconds, right? This is a best practice and this is a recommended practice to create snapshot table, right? What are the different permissions required to do that? So these are the different permissions required to create snapshots, or else you can grant any of the below role, data viewer, data editor, owner, or admin, right? So this is how you can create snapshots. Okay, so now let's quickly move to the demo. In the demo, right, we'll see how you can access historical data using time travel option, right? In the second task, we'll see different option, right, to create table snapshots. Okay, into my GCP console. Let's see the options available to query historical data one by one. Okay, for that, let's go to the core, right? So the first thing we will use time travel option, right, that feature to query data from previous versions of the table, right? So if we examine, I have this dataset and table, right? There are two tables available as part of this dataset, right? If you just click on this table and go to the details, right, this table has been created on 27th June, right? Today is almost July 2nd. All right, it's been almost 5 days, not more than 7 days, right? So by using this time travel window, we'll try to query historical data, maybe one day before, right? One day prior or 2 days prior or 3 days prior data, right? So now this is a query. As I already discussed, we have to use this class for system time as a, so we are using this date function, right, which are related to SQL timestamp subtraction, right? That means we are trying to extract exact one day from the current timestamp. That means we are going one day back. We would like to query one day's back data using this query, right? Let us do that. Okay, let me open up one query editor, run, right? So this is one day's data. If you change it to 2 days, right, it will work, right? This table has been created on 27th. Let me try to use 7 days. If see it, invalid time travel timestamp, that means, so it has been created maybe 5 days or 6 days back. It is not available from last 7 days. All right, it has been recently created, maybe 5 days or 6 days back. That's why it is clearly throwing that error, invalid time travel timestamp. Okay, so this is how you can use this particular class to query historical data, right? Now let us try to explore more, right? What we'll do, right, we'll try to update data, few columns of this particular uh, right table, and then we'll try to query this table using this time travel, and we'll see the current data and also the previous data, right? We'll do that. First of all, we'll have to update. We'll see what are the values available in this particular column for this filter condition, right? So for that we have to write select query first, and then you can update the table, right? So let me do that. Like, which starts from S, right? Now you can see there are two rows as returning where the value is 55, right? So now we are going to update this data, right? So let me do that using this particular statement, right? So let me run this statement. Now I'm updating to 44. Earlier it was 55, right? Now the current data is 55, right? Now I would like to query the data, right? So which is of 2 seconds prior, right? 2 seconds back data, because we have updated it to 50, right, 44 now. Earlier it was 55. So can we do that? Let me open up one more BigQuery editor. So let me use the same query for this, right? So let me use, I guess, some 5 seconds. Second, and now it should be valid. Now try to query. Now still it is 44. Let me, I think it has been better to use 1 minute. You can see 55. This is the previous version of data. So we have updated. I think it's been almost 2 to 3 minutes. That's why I'm using 5 minutes. So this is the old version of the data. The current version is this 44. Old version is this 5 minutes 55, right? So this is how you can use this option to query historical data which belongs to different timestamps, different previous timestamps or previous time. Okay, I hope you understand this concept. Okay, now let us go to the next task, where now we'll try to restore a table which has been deleted by mistake, right? Can we do that? Okay, so let me go to the BigQuery again. Okay, now I have this table. Okay, right, this has been created yesterday, I guess. Now let me delete this table and I'll try to restore this table using our BQCP and that offset method, right? There are two ways we can restore this table, right? We'll use those two options. Okay, let me delete. For that, go there, click on delete, type delete. That's it. Now this table has been deleted. Now I would like to restore this table using our table decorators, right? So right, so this is a command which we can use. First of all, so this table existed, I mean, till 2 to 3 seconds back or 1 minute back. Now we have deleted it. Now we would like to restore it. For that, first of all, we need to find the timestamps which belongs to 1 minute prior or something like that, and then we'll try to use this command to restore the table, right? So this is anyway 1 hour, right? It is in a milliseconds format. So if you convert this into hours, it's exactly 1 hour, right? So we have to use BQCP and we have to run this command using console. So this will initiate a copy process, right? It will try to copy from its historical data to the current. Now you can see table successfully copied to this, right? Now go to your BigQuery, try to refresh the page. Now you should see that deleted data again in the same data set, right? See, this has been restored. Now we'll use the second option, right? Converter. Yes, today is July 2nd. Exactly going 1 hour back. Right? Let me copy that and try to run. Yeah, now it is running. So I guess I would have copied the wrong value. Now it has been copied. Let us quickly go to the BigQuery and see if this table also created in the same data set, right? So I think it should be created. Yeah, see, there are two tables created. One is with the first option, this is with the second option, right? This is how you can restore tables quickly using this table decorator, right? I hope you got this concept, you understood it. So let us go to the next task, right? So the next one is table snapshot. Okay, now first we'll try to create the table snapshot. It's a backup mechanism, right? So far we have uh, tried to access the historical data that has been updated, or if there is a new data inserted into table, and also we try to restore the table which has been deleted, right? This works well within that 7 days time travel window, right? So if we have to preserve the data more than 7 days, we'll have to go for table snapshot mechanism or option, right? So now we'll see that. Okay, so for that we'll try to create table snapshot using GCP console, right? So for that, go there. Okay, so I've been using the same table. This is a table, so it has been created 5 days or 6 days back. Now I would like to create the table snapshot using console. So here there is an option, you can see snapshot. So click on this. So it will create the snapshot within the same dataset, but I would like to go for this dataset. I have created one more dataset. It's an empty dataset. This is also there in the same region, Asia South 1. This is also there in the same region, Asia South 1. So because it's better to have table snapshot in a different dataset, right? So because by mistake, if we delete the actual dataset where our base table resides, right? So at least we have a snapshot table in other dataset. So that way it is better to have table snapshot in a different dataset. So I just named it as a backup. Let me create that snapshots into this dataset. Okay, let me create. Click on this table again. Create snapshot. Here dataset name is backup, right? So see, it's by automatically it is happening timestamp. So if you want, you can change the format here, right? So expiry time you will have to mention, right? As I already told. So maybe 10 days or 15 days later, snapshot will be deleted from the dataset. Okay. Now click on save. Now there should be one data snapshot created as part of this dataset, right? You can go to details, right, and click on preview. Right? This is the snapshot, right? This is how you can create snapshot using GCP console, right? We'll go to the second option, right? For that, go to the code again. Let me go to this file. So here we have, so we'll use SQL to create snapshots, right? So first thing, so I'm using this statement. So for that, we have to use this keyword snapshot, creates a snapshot table name, always up in the timestamp. Okay, and we'll have to use clone because we have to create snapshot from this base table. This base table exists in this particular dataset. We have to mention dataset name, project name, and expiration timestamp. As already discussed, it's better to have expiration timestamp for all the snapshot which we are going to create, right? So I'm just selecting I'm just giving this expiration timestamp till now, September 1st. Okay, so let me change this name. This is second, right? So current time 4:43, 16, 43, right? So you can use this SQL to create our snapshot tables, right? Let me copy here. So instead of going to backup, change the dataset name, target dataset name where we are going to create our snapshot. Let me run. Right, you can see there is one more snapshot created. This is the recent snapshot created by using our SQL commands, right? Okay, so like that you can create snapshot using SQL, and also as I already discussed, right, we can also use this time travel option to create timestamp snapshot, right? In this case, we have created snapshot of the table with the current timestamp, right? What if you have to create the snapshot for the backdated timestamps? Let's say if you have to create the snapshot which belongs to 1 hour prior, right? So we can use the SQL like this, right? So as I all, let me copy same thing here. So exactly 1 hour. Right now the time is 4:45. Let me use 3:45 for that. 3:45. I'm using for system as of timestamp subtraction from current timestamp to 1 hour interval. That means it will exactly go back 1 hour. Right? Then it will create timestamp. Let me copy this, and this will create timestamp which belong to 1 hour back. Right? So sorry, it has been created in the same dataset because I've used the same dataset. Instead, change this, run this again. See, there is one more snapshot created which belongs to 1 hour back, right? This is how you can create snapshot using SQL, right? So next we will see how we can use again the same things, BQCP snapshot. So there is one flag, no clubber, because this will act as a flag where it will restrict to overwrite the target if you use no club, right? And expiration, this is in seconds, that means exactly 1 day, I guess. This is 1 day expiration. Then I'll have to specify my snapshot name, right? So for that, run this. They should create one snapshot in here, right? Just go back, refresh this page. Now you should see one more snapshot with 1450 timestamp. This is the one, right? Like this, you can create snapshot using Vico commands, right? So in the same way, you can use this option as well, all right? It's a basically using our table decorator, right? So uh, to this is one more option where you can create snapshot of the table using our time travel, right? So here I'm using this table decorator, so I'm asking it to go back exactly 1 hour. So this is again relative time offset method, right? So let me try to create this is a same timestamp. Let me copy over here, but this is exactly 1 hour backdated, right? 2, let me use 3 for our reference, 51 or 52, right? So my target dataset is backup, right? This is my source dataset, source table. I'm asking it to go back exactly 1 hour and create that snapshot. with this name. Right, let me run this. Yeah, this will create one more snapshot. You can see this has been created with a 1352 timestamp. Go back to your BigQuery and let's see. So it should have one more snapshot with the 352. This is the latest one, right? Yeah, I think you are clear, right? Now the last option. So how to restore table from the snapshot, because snapshot is always read-only, right? You can't directly update any snapshot table. So instead what you can do, you can restore the table using snapshot and then you can perform your updates, right? For that you'll have to use this particular commands. For BQ you can use this commands. For SQL you can use this commands, right? So let me try to run one command. So I'm trying to restore this table using one of the snapshot available right over here. Maybe I will use this 52, the latest one, right? For that you can copy this timestamp, right, and paste it over here, right? Use this is there in the backup database data set. Now I'm trying to create this particular table, word count output new, right? Let me run this. Here one of the editor, you can see this is valid. Just run, right? It has been created. You can see this has been restored from this snapshot. Okay, now you can perform your updates on top of this table. In the same way you can use BQ commands also.